はい。ちょっと、待機用の BGM 貯めますね。はい。どうも、こんばんは。お花の妖精こと、花牛ゆずちと申します。いやー、本当はね、明日のね、予定だったんだけどね。忘れててね。明日はね、楓さんのデビュー配信があるから、そっちに行くっていうね。そっちに絶対に行きたいというね、意志のもと、ちょっと、明日じゃなくなっちゃったんだけど、代わりにね、今からね、やろうと思ってたね、ゲームやろうと思います。あ、のめさんいらっしゃい。I work every day. やだやだよ。なんか、ちょっと待って、ゲームの音流すの忘れてたわ。ちょっと待って。はい。大丈夫かな？大丈夫そうかな？聞こえますかね？ちょっと音量のバランスとかあれだったら教えてください。ちょっと、ゲームの音量調節してなくて、あんまりいじってなくて、ちょっと音量ミキサーで調整しようかな。若干うるさい気がする。もうちょっと下げたい。こんぐらいかな。どうでしょうか？大丈夫でしょうか？こんな感じでいいかな。もしね、何かあったらね、教えてもらえると嬉しいなと思います。今回やるのはね、なんて言うんですか？ザ・スタンリー・パラブル？わかんない。なんていうのかわかんないんですけど、っていうなんか、ナレーションに従ったり従わなかったりするゲームらしいんですね。ここすごくない？パソコン画面に今自分が動かしてるマウスカーソルが動いてる。すげえ。でもね、このゲームね、なんか昔、ちょっとお友達にもらったんですけど、なんか今の今まで結局手をつけられずにいて、初見じゃないんですけど、そう、実況をね、はるか昔に見たんだけど、まあ、ほとんど覚えてないですね。初見ではないけど、まあ、やるのは初めてなので、ね、やっていきましょう。ローディング。今日はね、プリンをね、用意しながらね。
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
はい。
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number
プリンおいしい。
Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427.
そう、日本語パッチ入れてます。
Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to
どのボタンを押せばいいのか、どのくらい長く押せばいいのか、どの順番で押せばいいのか。はい。従業員427番、毎日、毎月、毎年この作業を繰り返してきました。めっちゃ鬱になりそう。スタンリーはいつも指示が来るたびに喜びを感じていました。まあ、絶対鬱になっちゃう、そんなの。幸せだったんだ。これがオープニングかな？奇妙なことが起きました？スタンリーの人生を変えてしまうような出来事が。死ぬまで忘れられないような出来事が。はい。モニターには一つの指示も届きませんでした。誰も彼に指示を出したり、会議を招集したり、挨拶すらしてくれませんでした。こんなことは今まで一度もありませんでした。こんな完全な孤立は。ナレーションが喋ってくれてるんだから喋んなくていいか。しばらく動けずにいました。
Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
動けるよみんな。閉めちゃった。
Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure.
今
What if he had to
何
make
し
a
た？
decision? What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility? He had never been trained for that.
開かない。
This couldn't go anywhere except badly. The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, wait, nothing will hurt me.
ちょっと待って。
And here I can be happy forever. I will be happy. Stanley waited. Hours passed, then days.
ね、開かない。
Years gone by.
ね、
He no longer had the
今違
ability to
うの、
tell.
移動キーがさ、W キーだからさ、移動しようと思ったら間違って隣のE キーを調べちゃったんだって。
They would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this will end. He will be spoken to. He will be told what to do.
なんかできることない？
Just a little bit closer.
終わっ
Now it's even closer.
開かない。あ、ちょっと。待って。待って。あ、よかった。
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
同僚たちは何もいなくなっ
Stanley
て
decided
ま
to
し
go to
た。
the meeting room.
はい。
Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
これすごい画面用意しそう。何これ。机の上乗っちゃうんだけど。みんなでスタバ行った？置いてかれたの？許せないんだけど。やだ、ゆずちもスタバ行きたい。人のパソコンの電源ぶつ切りしちゃった。ごめんなさい。戻ってみよう。なんかできたりしない？気持ち悪い。ちょっと待ってね。感度がいい。マウス感度どこで下げんのわかんないんだけど。上司のエクセルにたどりしようぜ。それはいい考えかも。ここかな？これ？ねえ、英語読めないから何言われてんのかわかんないんだけど。まあいいや、わかんない。なんかぬるぬる動いてすごい画面用意するんだけど。もうついてるパソコンない？あるじゃん。違うわ、これさっき机に乗っちゃったやつだ。ここから行くとなぜか机に乗れるんだよね。体コップ。じゃあ次のとこ行こう。開けたら閉める。開かない。ここは開かない。ここも開かない。えらい。閉めるの大事。左のドアに入りました。じゃあ右に入る。
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
閉められてる！誰閉めたの？怖い！嘘。ちょっとふざけただけじゃん。誰閉めたの？開かないよ。この辺とか何もできないの？何もできなさそう。
Yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room.
休憩室？
Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
はーい。味わおうね。自販機。
Yes, really worth it being
買え
in
ない。
a room. A room so utterly captivating
そうだ。
that even though
そう
all
だ、
your
買いたい。
coworkers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth
あ、
it.
ほんとだ。絵とかあるわ。そうだ、買えないから絵見よう。これ何
At
の
this
絵？
point,
葉っぱ？
Stanley's obsession with this room bordered on creepy and reflected poorly on his
わか
overall
ったわかった。悪か
personality.
ったって。もう行
It's
くから。
possible that this is why, but at
もう
last,
そんな
he
悪
had
口
enough of
言わない
the
でよ。
amazing room and took the first
廊
open
下
door
の
on his
左側
left
に。
to get back to business.
左側にある、左側か。開かない？次元の勇者、アニゲークルス参上。アニゲークルさんこんばんは。いらっしゃいませ。ここ？でも奥開いてるよ。ね、奥開いてる。奥椅子あるけどこっち椅子ないよ。でもさっき そう言っちゃったから行
And
ってあ
so
げ
he
ようか。
detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door,
リフト
and
あ
got
る
back on
リフト
track.
リフトリフトリフトエレベーターだ。おとじさんがやってたやつ。あ、そうなんだ。それは知らないや。
Didn't want to go back to the office. He
う
wanted to
ん、こ
wander
っから戻
about
って
and get
こう来
even
て、ここ
further
から
off.
左だ。
So now
わ
in
かん
order
な
to
い
get。back, he needed to go from here it's left.
トゥトゥトゥトゥトゥ
Oh no, it's to the right. My mistake.
は？お前間違ってんじゃねえぞ。こら。
No, not the right.
閉じ込めてくるんだけど。
said it was to the right.
じゃあどこ行けばいいの？
Was I thinking?
リフトに爆破射撃しちゃった。
Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please?
いいよ、わかった。時間あげるから、その間にゆずちゃんプリン食べてっから。
See, we went down,
プリンうま。
right, left, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
開かない。開かない。開かない。開かない。開かないんだけど、ここ行けって。しょうがないな。車。この車さ、乗れないんだけど。どうやっても乗れないんだけど、ジャンプとかできない系？ジャンプとかできない系だ。乗れない。なんだこれ。これに今足引っかかって歩けんかった。しょうがないな。ネタ発言。
No.
何これ？
This isn't at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler.
わかった。
Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to
でも何も見えないからさ、字幕読めないから何言ってるかわかんないんだけど。早くていい。
How about rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay, from the top.
戻された。ただいま。
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
だからやりたいこと言うなよ。ナレーションさんに戻される。ついてるパソコンは片っ端から消してってやる。開けたら閉める。これ大事。
When Stanley... Wait, what?
なんだ？
No, I restarted. I swear I definitely restarted the
Nani,
game
nani,
over,
nani?
completely fresh. Everything should be... Oh, did something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in the room with all
プ
the
リン食べてただけですけ
Did you
ど。
move the story somewhere or... Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley.
全部開いた。
The story.
全部開いたよ。どこ行こう。いけない。これはいけないんだ。さっきどこ行ったんだっけ？右だっけ？右じゃないとこ。でも左がなんか正しいルートみたいなこと言ってたから左は行きたくないでしょ？ここ繋がってんのかな？繋がってる。なんだこれ
I said, this is the worst adventure I've ever
一
been
番
on.
最
I
悪
can
な
promise
冒
you,
険だ。
there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again.
何このキモい廊下。
Okay, let's give it a shot. Why
ね、
not?
キモい廊下、キモい廊下。なんでね、キモい廊下の続きは
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
なんだそんな
Perhaps he
斜
had
めな
simply
キモい
missed a
廊
memo.
下さ、なんでさ、 通してくれない。
Okay,
ドアなくなった。
I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story
ドア
is
なくなっ
back
ちゃっ
where
た
we
んだけ
just
ど。
came from. Why don't we go back the other direction
はい。
and see if we missed anything?
開かない。開いた。ちゃんと引き返すしかできない。あれ、あんなとこドアとかあったっけ？あったのかな？あったのかも。ちょっとわかんない。ね、なんだこの場所はって感じだよね。
Aha! I knew we'd miss something.
どこここ知らないとこ来たんだけど。
Here it comes.
廊下暗いのやだ。廊下暗いのやなんだけど。あ、電気ついてる。壊れてんのなんで？直してよ。直してよ。
No, wait. Never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
引き返せます。どこここ
Now this, well, I'll be honest, I don't recognize this place at all.
ナレーターさんが見覚えないなら、いずちなんか見覚えあるわけないよ。
I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took
オフィ
place
ス
in
ビ
an
ルの
office
設定
building.
だよな。
Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win!
勝ったー！イエーイ！
Congratulations! I know you put in a lot of hard work.
やっ
It
た
really paid off. So,
やっ
good
た
job.
ー！
Oh no, I don't feel right about this at all.
ダメ？
We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win.
な
Some
んじゃ
people
こり
win
ゃ
fair and square,
ね
and this was not one of those
あれ
situations.
帰れなくなってる
I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart.
おめでとうこれなんだなだちゃんいらっしゃいねなんだろうねなんかあまりにも無視するから矢印引かれちゃ
I've
っ
got
た
a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line.
放課音痴にも安心だねこんなところ知らないんだけどこっち来てないよね行く
You see, the line knows where the story is. It's over in this
運命の
direction.
地へ
Onward, Stanley, to destiny.
運命の地だって
Here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story?
壁は歩けないよ
Simply by the act of moving
壁は
forward,
歩けな
are
い
we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself?
上行けない
Hang on, that got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize.
あれ開けたら閉めるができない
You know what? I think what we need
え
right
壁
now
歩けないん
is
だ
a
って
bit
だ
of
から
music to lighten the mood.
うわーうるせえうるせえバカうるせえバカやだうるさい音楽がうるさい音楽がうるさいようるさい早く止まってくれ天井は歩けないだったらタンタラララララララララなんだこのゲーム間違ってドアの隙間に入っちゃった
Cut the music, go back and look at that film.
あーよかった止まってくれた歌っちゃったしかも割と適当に
Wait, what?
何
We're
こ
back
れ
at the office? No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right?
ど
The
こ行け
story?
ばいい
Is any of this ringing a bell?
このゲームはね、そう今更だけどナレーターさんの指示に従ったり従わなかったりして遊ぶゲームですよ
Oh, no, not again. Line, how could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Oh, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it.
字幕見づらいかなって思ったから黒いとこにしたわ。はい。また LINE 引かれてる。
You know what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people,
全然役に立ってな
right?
い。
Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious. Oh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know.
いい
How
ね。
about this direction?
どこ行った？あ、ここ？短冊行く。めっちゃプリン食べてたけど。
Now, yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be? Go wild. Use your imagination.
どんなもんでもいい？
Whatever it might be,
じゃあお
Stanley,
菓子の家があるとこに行きた
I'm
い
ready for it.。
お菓子食べたい。チョコ。あとクッキー。あとビスケッ
Oh,
ト。
no, not you again. Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our
そうだよ、モ
awesome
ニ
new
タールーム
story.
なんかいら
No
ない。
lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge
で
it.
もなんか
You
行く
should
と
be
こ
fine.
ラインしかないんだけど。そうだよ、会社なんか辞めてさ、メルヘンなとこ行こう、もうちょっと。行きたい。そこめっちゃ行きたい。そこめっちゃ行きたい。そこめっちゃ行きたい。ユーキャンとジャンプっていう謎の実績をロックしたんだけど。なんで？あ、めっちゃジャンプしたがったから？そういうこと関係ないか。
Ah, a choice.
え？
We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control. How important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here.
オッケ
Let's
ー。
walk in circles for a minute. Okay, so I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere, the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse
絶対正面
door.
を向きながらぐるぐる回るや
And
つ
that
いる。
in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted
そう、しかも逆だったっていう。
reverse door origin. So starting from the right,
Okay,
let us
わかった。
ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one.
じゃあどうすればいいって？全然話聞いてなかったんだけ
Come,
ど。
Stanley, our destiny awaits.
ね、もういい？左行こう、左。左がいい。左がいい。ダメみたいですね。開けたら閉めれない。
Oh, hold up, what's this?
何これ？
Confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one
何これ？
giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game, what, eight times? That's really how all this goes?
困ってる、困ってる。
Determined?
困ってる、困ってる。
So now, according to the
困ってる、
schedule,
困
I
ってる。
restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget?
プリン美味しい。
My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing, wall. Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really? No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to
なんか
keep
かわいそうになってきた。
restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. And the time stopped.
え？
Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come?
ドア増えてる？え、違
Will
うわ。
something happen?
増えてない。
So, okay.
何すればいいの？
I guess now we
ク
just
ソデ
wait.
カため息
You
じゃ
know,
ん。
I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story. Wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime...
くっそびっくりした。何戻ってきた？
All of his co-workers were gone.
Oh.
What did it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply
あ、
missed a
戻っ
memo.
てきたね。だって別に何も変わってない。これ初期の状態かな？ え、コーヒーこぼれてる。なんて書いてあるんだろう。読めない。ロッカーに引っかかってる。I hate マンデーズか。月曜日嫌いだって。
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
かわいそうだから左行ってあげよう。全部言うこと聞いてみようかな、次。ナレーターさんの思い通りにしてあげよ
う。Yet there was not a single person here either.
ね、誰もいないね。
Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
To do. なんて読むの？このゲームおもろそうだから私もやりたい。これね、面白いよ。ザ・スタンリー・パラブルって言うんですか？読めないですね。これね、そう、結構ね、昔のゲーム、昔なのかな？なんか、前のゲームなんだけど。そう、もらったの。時右に行った？そう、なんかね、一番最初はね、右に行ったんだけどね、なんかしたらナレーターさんにブチギレられたからね。はい。どっち行けばいい？こっち？バスルームだった。お風呂だった。めっちゃさ、木製めっちゃ。こんにちは。
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
2845? 俺が上司だ。俺が上司だ。
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs.
ごめんって。
Anything on the device was useless,
2845ね。
the combination was 2845.
キーパッドどこにあったって？デスクの裏って言ったよね。あれ？ごめん、全然聞いてなかった。あった、これだ。
2845。
ね、間違ってさ、8って押しちゃったんだけど、どうしたらいい？2拡散されちゃう。8、4、5。
Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck.
驚きだね。すごいな。驚きだな。どこ？なんか開いてる。暗っ。リフトイエーイリフト楽しい。ロード入っちゃった。
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job.
めっちゃ下まで降りるね。
When for years it had never occurred to him.
地面？
This question would not go unanswered for long.
はい。
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
エスケープって書いてある。エスケープって書いてあるよ。キジハタさんだ。こんにちはじゃない、こんばんは。いや、でも、ナレーターさんの言うこと聞くって決めたから、すぐ行きます。逃げたかったけど。何これ？ 押すなよボタン？押すなよ、絶対に押すなよのボタン？あ、もう戻れない。押していいのかな？文字とか全然読めないしな、こんなん。暗いな。しょうがねえ。
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength?
あ、これあの部屋じゃん。なんか一番最初にたどり着いたさ、なんかいっぱいなんか監視カメラみたいなの映された部屋でしょ？その下のところだ。あ。
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
監視されてたのです。いや、知ってるよ。だってさっきなんか来たし、この部屋。
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe it couldn't be true.
真っ白眩しい。
Someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No. He refused to believe. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
何これ？あ、押せない。オフライン。オフラインになってる。あ、でも押せてるはいるのか。反応はしてないだけで。何これ？怖い怖い怖い怖い怖い怖い怖い怖い。あ。これ押すやつ？でもオフラインのボタンオンにしたらオンラインになっちゃうんじゃないの？マインドコントロールオンになっちゃうんじゃないの
？And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
どうなるの？どうなるの？
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty.
進めない。これ以上前に行けない。何？怖い。
He had won. He had defeated the machine. Unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
めっちゃいい景色。
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his
操作でき
skin.
なくなった。歩くの遅っ。
Liberation, the immense possibility of the new path.
歩くの遅とか言っちゃいけないのか。
This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley.
綺麗な空。解除した。戻ってきた。なんかこれいろんなさ、エンドがさ、あるからさ。
All of his coworkers were gone. What could it mean?
もういっぱいさ、
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
いっぱい見たい。
Perhaps he simply missed a memo.
いっぱい見たいけど。
When Stanley came to a set of two open, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it
もう
perfectly
話も
well.
聞かずに右のドア
Perhaps
に
he
入る
wanted to
よ。
stop by the employee lounge first.
ま
just
だ
to
やってな
admire.
いのってどうだったっけ？
Wow.
てか違う、
Yes.
エスケープ行けばよかった、
This
さっきのまま行って。
What a beautiful room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
確かさっきこっち行ったから次こっち行く。
Stanley
こ
was
こ
so
から
bad
知らな
at
い。
following directions.
言われた通りにする
He
のがと
probably
ても
wasn't
苦手で
5
した。
years
めっ
ago.
ちゃ言うじゃん。何ここ。閉められた。何これ。
Look, Stanley,
あ、
I
動い
think
た。
perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here.
プリン
I'm
食
not
べ
your
る。
enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
彼女って誰？もしかしてゆずち奥さんいるの？
Stanley, your chance to redeem
ゆ
yourself.
ずち奥さんい
To
る
put
の？
your work aside. To
本
let
当に？
her back into your life.
本当？
She's been waiting.
本当？本当？奥さんいるの？結婚してる？暗いんだけど。暗いんだけど。暗い。暗いの嫌なんだけど。あっちはあっち開かない？開かないと思うけど、今までの感じ。開かねえよな。そうだよな。しょうがねえ。行くぞ。ほら。
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this. To reach out to her. If you can truly place your
私
faith
が奥さん
in
いう裏声
another,
を笑う。
then pick up the phone.
電話嫌い。電話嫌い。電話嫌いなの。やめて。電話、やだ。電話対面より怖くない？あ、
As Stanley picked up the phone, a white light engulfed him,
イエ
filling him not
ー
just with
イ
radiance, but with hope.
コーセ
Hope
ッ
for a
ト抜い
life
てやった
reunited
ぜ
one- Wait. Oh, goodness. Stanley, did you just unplug the phone? No, that wasn't
Like
supposed
that.
to be a choice. How did you do that? You actually chose incorrectly.
いや、
I didn't
見える
even
と
know
ころ
that
に
was
コーセット
possible.
さしてるのが
Let
悪
me
いよ。
double check.
髪めくってんで。
No, it's definitely here, clear as day. Stanley picks up the phone. He's taken to his apartment where he finds his wife, and the two pledge themselves to one another. Music comes in, fade to white, roll credits. Not picking up the phone is actually somehow an incorrect course of action. How is that even possible? None of these decisions were supposed to mean anything. I don't understand. How on earth are you making meaningful choices? What did you... Wait a
いや、一
second.
体
Did I
いや、
just
ゆずちは
see...
妖精さんだよ。
No,
お
that's
花
not
の妖精さん
possible.
なん
I
だよ。
can't believe it. How had I not noticed it sooner?
はい
You're not Stanley. You're a real person.
間じゃないもん。
I can't believe I was so mistaken. This is why you've
人間
been
じゃない
able to
もん。
make correct and
妖精
incorrect
さんだもん。
choices. And to think I've been letting you run around in this game for so long. If you'd made any more wrong choices, you might have negated it entirely. It's as though you completely ignored even the most basic safety protocol for real-world decision-making. Or did you not grasp the severity of the situation? Well, I won't have that kind of risk on my watch. I'm going to stop the game for a moment so we can educate you properly on safe decision-making in the real world. Please observe this helpful instructional
教
video.
育ビデオ見せられるって。
Choice.
なんか始まったんだけ
Part of
ど。
being a real person, but if used incorrectly can also be the most dangerous. For example, in this scenario, a
誰？
hypothetical real person named Stephen has a choice.
スティーブ
He
ン。
could spend years helping improve the quality of life for citizens of impoverished third world nations. Or he could systematically set fire to every
Stephen,
orphan
すごい姿勢
within
だ
a
ね。
30-kilometer radius of his house.
スティーブン
Which choice would you make? Remember that unlike here, the real world makes sense, and at no time should you make a choice that does not conform to rational logic. If you find yourself speaking with a person who does not make sense, in all likelihood, that person is not real. Allow the person to finish their thought, then provide an excuse why you cannot continue talking. Turn to a partner and practice saying, "My goodness, is it 4:30? I'm supposed to be having a back sack and crack." Excellent. Making choices on a regular basis is the best part to a healthy decision-making process. Most medical professionals recommend making at least 8 choices per day.
何こ
Do
れ
you make more than 8? Less? And finally, if you begin to wonder if your choices are actually meaningful and whether you'll ever make a significant contribution to the world, just remember that in the vast infiniteness of space, your thoughts and problems are materially insignificant, and the feeling should subside. At this time, your instructor will guide you in an exercise to test and reinforce the material covered in this video.
あ
Ah,
なんだこ
welcome
こ
back. You may have noticed that this room has begun to
めっちゃストップって
deteriorate
書い
as
て
a
あ
result
る
of narrative contradiction. But not to worry.
カ
Now
ラ
that
フル
you're
だ
properly
ね
informed on good decision making, we're going to
字幕
revisit
が
a
読み
choice
づらい
you made just a
読みよ
few minutes ago and see what the correct thing to do would have been. This way, please.
あエグジットって書いてあるけど非常口ないんですけどなんだここしょうがねえなあ、戻ってきた乗ればいいの
Now that we know your choices are meaningful, we can't have you jumping off the platform and dying. Imagine the main character dying senselessly halfway through the story.
飛び降れない
That
飛び
story
降れ
would
ない
make no sense at all. We just need to get you home as soon as possible before the narrative contradiction gets any worse. Unfortunately, it seems this
飛び降り
place
れ
is
ないよ
not well equipped to deal with reality.
飛び降りれないよ飛び降りれなかったあ、待って今めっちゃグワンってした飛び降りれないのこれあ、なんもできないなあっちだったらできたのかなそんなことないのかななんか飛び降りるとか言ってたからできるのかと思ったけどもう決められた道しか進めないなんて窮屈
Almost there. You'll take the door on the left, back to the correct ending. The story will have resolution once again, and you'll be home free in the real world.
開かないよね今までだってドア開かなかったもんね急に開いたら逆に怖いわ戻ってきた
Now remember, all you need to do is behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back in the other direction. Perhaps we're not too late.
やっぱ何があるかわかんないから面白いみたいなとこあるわけじゃん。進めないな。123はてな123はてなみたいな感じで書いてある。456B。なんだこれ、意味わからん。絵が融合してる。なんかすごい貫通してんね。ここは入れない。何号室かもわかんない。はい。もう一回右行ったらどうなる？なんか言ってくれたりする？あ、なんも言ってくれない。左行けってこと？しょうがないな。ナレーターさん喋ってくれないと寂しいんですけど。
It's ruined. I can't believe after everything we talked about that my story, you've destroyed my work. Why? For what?
めっちゃ怒られてるんだけど。
ナレーター
さんが困ってるのをね、見るのが楽しいの。
And what am I supposed to do? Even if there were a way to continue, would it be worth it? To know that my story is now incorrect? How can I go back to that? I can't erase that knowledge. I'll have to live with.
ちょっと待って。画面動いてる？よいしょ。動いてるか。ごめんなさい、止めちゃって。なんか、いつの画面でずっと止まってたから。
That forever.
はい、ごめんなさい。
Reliving its impossibility forever. I couldn't live that way. Is it better to shut the game down entirely? To willingly destroy all of my work? I don't know. What's the answer? What do I do? What do I do?
あ、かわいそう。ごめんね。
No, I have to.
ごめんね。
I have to shut the game down.
ごめんね。
I have to.
なにごめん。だって。
I'm still here.
なんだこれ。
With you who thought you were
め
so
っちゃ煽っ
clever.
てくるんだけど。
Now look where we are. My entire game is destroyed. It was the only thing in the world that was mine.
ごめ
And you brought it into
ん。
the ground. What? Did you think that would be funny? You just had to see? Didn't I impress upon you how important it was to be like Stanley? He actually knows how to do what I tell him to. He understands that if I say to do something, there's a damn good reason for it.
めっちゃ怒
That
られてる。
thought hadn't even occurred to you,
ご
had
め
it?
ん。
That there's a world outside of you. You're a child. Oh, my story. If you'd just gone through the door on the left, you would have seen it. There was a whole underground facility. You would have destroyed it and been victorious. It would have been so perfect. I worked so hard on it. I tried so hard.
ごめんでは。
Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
はい。ごめん。頭に突っかかっちゃった。もう即閉めるじゃん、通ったら。これさっき右に入るとこの分岐で止めてくれたんだよな、多分。
Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office,
これどう
hoping
な
he
んだ
might
ろ
find
う。
an answer there.
ここからどうしようかな。
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
あ、じゃあ、このまま、さっきみたいに進んでって、あれ？こんなだったっけ？
Stepping inside his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any
こんなじゃなかった。
Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this until he saw the door with a voice receiver next to it. Surely behind this door lay all the answers to his questions. And beyond all probability, he knew the passcode. He had seen it on his boss's computer just last week. Night Shark 115. Was this the code to open the door? Would it still work? There was only one way to find out. Stanley had been trained never to speak up, but now he would draw from within himself the courage to face the unknown. He drew a sharp breath and then spoke the code.
Night Shark 115?
Stanley spoke the code. Night Shark 115.
言ったよ
He spoke it into the receiver, right there on the wall.
出てんの Night Shark 115? どうやってやんのねえ、どうやってやんの
Is there a problem?
ねえ、じゃあやってるのに
Please speak the code into the receiver. Otherwise,
頑
we
張
can't
っ
get on with
て
the
やっ
story.
て
This
る
is
や
a
ってる
crucial
よ
step.
やってるナイトシャーク115
Okay, fine.
や
You're
っ
not
て
gonna
る
do it.
や
But
っ
you
て
know
る
what?
もう
It's pretty humiliating to bring you this far, only for you to suddenly decide you have better things to do. I asked you for this one single
どうやって
thing
や
for
るの
your
か教えてくんなきゃわ
respect.
かんない
Kind of respect
ああ、もう
Stanley
これ
shows
だから
for
こ
his
れ
choices.
だからダメなんですよ、人間はもうわかんないって言ってるんだから教えてくれなきゃ困るんです
You had a choice, you know. You could have gone through the door on the right.
Ah.
Done whatever the hell you wanted over there. Why did you come this
いや
way?
だからやろうとしたじゃん
Say something to
やろ
me.
うとしたじゃん
Explain
もう
yourself.
やろうとしたって言ってるでしょもう喧嘩よ喧嘩なんか変なところに連れてこられちゃったえ
Stanley? Hello? Are you...
ここはど
Is
こ
everything okay?
天井
Stanley, please.
人間全体に切り散らかした怒られちゃったザ・エンドあ、終わっちゃった
Can you hear me?
あ
Is everything all right?
スタンリー
Stanley, this is important.
いやだってさわかんないから教えてくださいってさ言っても教えてくれない人とかいるじゃん
Whatever choice you make is just
同
fine.
じよ同じなんよ
We can work together.
だってこっちだって頑張ってやってるのにさ
Step forward, please. Choose. Do something.
妖精界ではそんなことなかったよ
This is more important than you can ever know. I need this. The story needs it. So, you hear me?
かわいそうになってきた
Are you there? You listening to this? Stanley, are you there? Okay. It's okay, I can wait. You need
スタッフロールとかぶって字幕が
time to make
こうちゃ
sure
う
your choice is correct. That is the best choice. That's all right. I'll wait for you to decide what's the right thing to do. Take as much time as you need.
あ、終わっちゃったあ、初めからになったじゃあ
Stanley knew the office layout like the back of his
あれ
hand. It was only a matter of time before he found the
あれ
others,
こんなだったっ
wherever
け
they were.
こんなナレーションの始まり方だっけ違うよねこんな始まり方だっけナレーションのこれ最初に戻ったわけじゃない
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he
わかんない
entered the door on his left.
じゃあちょっとやりたいことがあってそうさっきさずっと従ってたルートでやってた時の
Yet there was not a single person here either.
あれ
Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up
なんだ
to
っ
his
け
boss's
エスケープのと
office.
ころに
Hoping he might come
入
into a
りたい
staircase, Stanley walked upstairs
いや
to
こ
his
こも階段
boss's
降りるっ
office.
ていう選択肢があるのかちょっとエスケープのところに行ってみたいからちょっとそっちをやるね
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any
なん
human
だっけ
life.
多分
What could it
2485とかだよ
mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody.
あれ違
He
うっけ
began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk, pulling books off the shelf,
違うっけ
looking behind paintings, desperate for clues to his situation. But his
ダメ
attention was caught by a keypad behind the boss's desk. What could its
まだ
purpose be?
パスワード教えて
This keypad
あ
guarded the
2845
terrible
だっ
secret
た惜
that
し
lay
い
buried below his feet. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret pin. Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy. so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music.
進みたいのに反りが合わない。
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened
OK、分かった。落ち着いたやつね。落ち着いとくわ、一応。あ、そうだ、こっちじゃないわ。あっちだわ。ここが開くのかと思ってた。で、これを下に降りて、下に降りたところの、先に確か曲がるところがあるんだよね。それをね、じゃあ見に行こうかな。いや、マジ、何個エンディングあるんだろう。はい、ここの、さっき奥に行ったから、ここのエスケープに行きたかったんだよね。スタンリーの非常な死なのですが、死ぬの？死ぬんですか
？The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
廊下長。いやでも行くよ。だって。
At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk
だってどうなるのか知りたいもん。
confront his death.
え？怖い。もうダメ。もうダメ。戻ってみていい？多分閉まってるような気がするけど。あ、何も言ってくれない。何も言ってくれないよ。もうダメなのかも。あれ引き返せる？もしかして。引き返せたな。え、引き返せちゃったんだけど、あ、そもそもドアとかなかった。
Nope. Still on board with death.
うろうろ。なんか言ってくれるかな、また。言ってくれないわ。じゃあ、死にます。ありがとうございました。いやだってさっきのとこ行っても結局マインドコントロールのさ、同じエンディング見ることになるだけだから、こっちを回収しておいた方がいいかなって。もうエンド回収の鬼よ。つよつよエンド回収マンになってやる。なんかよくわかんないけど。ありがとうございました。潔いし。全然潔くはなかった。おいお
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that the
落下死じゃないの？落下死じゃない。
Stanley can't see the picture. He doesn't know the real story.
潰されて死ぬやつ。
In his narrow vision of what this
落下死じゃないんですか？ちょっと待って。聞いてない。まさかそういうことだと思ってなかった。やだ。これはやだ。
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws.
声変わったんだ
In
け
a
ど。
single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed
グロい。
killing him instantly.
あれ？あ、生きてる。
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game back in his office as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish?
ナレーター変わったんだ。なんだここ
When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless,
死ぬことにも
making
生きる
life
ことに意
the
味なんてありま
same.
せん。
Do you see now?
え
Do you see that Stanley was already
す
dead
でに死んでいたことが
from the moment he hit start?
うん、なるほど、そういう感じ。あ、スタンリーズコンピューターって書いてある。なんかすごい博物館みたいなとこに来たんだけど、オフィス、ゲーム冒頭のオフィスの模型です。これもしかしてあれなんかクリエゴとかによくさ、見れるさ、なんか作者とかが、フリーゲームとかだと作者とかが、キャラクターとかがいるやつみたいなとこ？おまけの部屋みたいな。模型だ。何これ。オフィスコンピューター。はい。ゲームやってるやついるんだけど。あ、消しちゃった。やべえ、消しちゃった。じゃあ全部消す。ゲームやってるやつおった。上から来たんだもんね。絵画集みたいなのもあるし。あ、ボタン？真ん中の2が押せなかった今。音が違う。ザ・オフィス。何これ？違う、メンテナンスだ。下に書いてあるのに。なんかいろいろあるんだけど。何これ？自転車？なんで自転車？開発の初期段階ではスタンリーが戦場のエイリアンと戦うエンディングを構想していました。そんなエンディング構想してたの？このアクションゲームに意識が芽生え、ナレーターに対抗し始めます。しかしこのエンディングがあまりにもふざけすぎていて鼻につくことが気になりました。それはそれでちょっと気になるけどね。意図するところではありませんでしたが、シューティングゲームが好きな人をバカにしていると感じた人もいました。大変なんやな。どこ行ける？ここ何？ナレーター E メール？はい。ナレーターでの質問を募集しました。当初はこのメールをプロモーションにするつもりや、利用するつもりでしたが、いい使い道は見つかりませんでした。あ、一部をご紹介します。あ、眩しい上に読めねー。読めない。読めないっていうか、読んでもわからないが正しいんだけど。長いわからんわ。よいしょ。はい。初期バージョンのラウンジ。はい。ザ・オフィス。あ、鉛筆削りと電話だ。これは？あ、電話。アパートのエンディングにつながる選択肢です。あ、そうだ、まだ彼女の電話受け取ってねえ。はい。あ、15秒以内に出ないと終わるみたいなエンディングが前あったんだ。なるほど。へえ。読めない。最終的なゲームと同じように動作しますが、より実際の貨物倉庫らしく見えるようにここから変更されました。ほう。カーナリフトはもともとそのまま進むか別の道にジャンプするかを選択できるようになっていました。しかしこの初期バージョンのあとプレイヤーが落下して死ぬという選択肢も欲しいと思うようになりました。ゲーム制作って大変なんやなってなんかすごい思わされるね。何これなんか掃除機とかのやるやつみたいになってる。これわかんない。なんだろう。エンディングモデル？なんだろう。どういうこと？あ、エンディング？あ、カットされて別のルートになったんだ。はい。 へえ。何の話されてんのか全くわかんない。怖い砂嵐怖い。ゲームの開発期間中にはゲームの構想を伝えるために4つのティザートレーラーを公開しました。2012年5月に公開された第1弾。あ、始まった。ナレーターの声でスタンリーの新バージョンを準備していることが告げられます。あ、こういうトレーラーが公開されてたんだ。へー。なんかずっと15秒カウンター耳に残ってるんだけど、聞こえてるのかそれとも耳に残ってるのかどっちかわかんないんだけど。長いな。まあ、トレーラーだからそれなりにあるか。音がないからそう感じるのかな。あ、近くにいても別に音が聞こえるわけではない。え？なにどういうこと？知らないルームだな。なんでルームだけ英語で言ったの？部屋って言えばよかったのに。長いな。もういいかな。あ、これ知ってる。そう、冒頭でも言ったんですけど、ゆずちこのゲーム、はるか昔に実況動画見てて、まあ、ほぼ覚えてないんだけど、そう、炎のやつはですね、なんか、赤ちゃんのパネルがね、こう、あるんですけど、それをね、なんか、炎に近づいたら、ボタンを押して最初の位置まで戻すみたいな、なんかそういう、なんかやつがね、どっかのルートにあるんですけど、どのルートだったかはちょっと覚えてない。何これ？近づいた瞬間に戻っていくのやめてもらっていいですか？押せない特に何も。ベータ版に存在したフリーダムエンディング。なんか終わりっぽい場所あったな、今。なんか迷子になっちゃったんだけど。スタンリーのオフィスの遍歴を紹介します。はい。これ？あ、これが最初なのかな？どうしよう。何が違うかあんまりよくわかん、わかったわ。ここどこ？あ、これメールのとこだ。ってことは、電話でしょ？誰行った？ここ来てない。最初の2つのドアに続く廊下は、プレイヤーが何度もプレイすることになるの重要なポイントとなりました。はい。そうだね、シンプルになったね。いろいろあったんだ。なるほどですね。ミーティングルーム。あ、会議室のあれか。この奥があれか、トレーラーのところだから、ここを、戻って、で、あれ、入り口って、あれ？こっちがさっき来たとこ。もうダメ、全然覚えてないんだけど。あれ？もうやだ、迷子。こっち来た？こっち来てない。多分こっち来てない。これ最初のとこやん。 あれれオフィスクローク、時計。あ、上司の部屋だ。開発段階の上司のオフィス。めっちゃシンプル。こんなのあるの？ここはいやもうマジでさ、迷子なんだけど。初期バージョンの地下施設。もう。なんか話し声聞こえる。ナレーターの声を担当した、なんだランデムですかゲーム絶対、3回に分けて録音した。流れてるのはゲーム本編には未登場の初期テイクの音声です。じゃあレアじゃん。聞こえなかったんだけど。でも何言ってるかわからないんだよな、聞いたところで。椅子？これを上に行って、もう出口か、多分もう回ったよね、全部。こっちじゃない。多分もう回った気がする。よし、行きますか。
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free.
何？何？タイトルだ。オンオフスイッチがある。でもオンになってるの。オフにしていいの？しちゃうよ。
Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen.
なんかいいこと言ってる風になってる。
But listen to me.
これ？
You can still save.
そうだ、忘れてた。
Program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this
どうしよう、どう
game.
しよ
Move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only
どうしよう。
choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let time.
いやだって自分で選んだし。だってそれじゃあナレーターさんに申し訳ないから、やっぱ命をね、渡して償えるかどうかわかんないけど。動く一応。これもう、リスタートをさなきゃ何もできない系？なんかナレーターさんとかに、みたいなこと言われたりしないの？しなさそう。ちょっとじゃあ。これで読み込み終わったらなんか、お前リスタートしたなとか言われたりすんのかな？
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
普通に最
Stanley
初に戻っ
decided
た
to go
な。
to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
あとなんだやってないの。電話に出るパターン。
When Stanley came to a set of two open
電
doors,
話に出るパ
he
ターンっ
entered
て
the door
ど
on
う
his
いうルー
left.
トだったっけ？マインドコントロールのとこ行ってからかな。
Yet there was not
全
a
然
single
思い出せない
person
んだけ
here
ど。
either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's
あ、
office.
違うわ。ここ
Hoping
に
he
下に
might
行くの
come
や
into
ろ
a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his
まだやっ
boss's
てない。
office.
下に行くとどうなるの？
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his
上
boss.
司に出くわす可能
Admitting
性、
he
まあ
had
人
left
に
his
出会うの嫌
post
だもん
during work
ね。
hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished. His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley.
私は狂ってるのかもしれな
Maybe, he
い。
thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all. None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that it had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming! He yelled. This is all a dream. Oh,
this is a
relief
dream.
Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself? Believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please. It's all I want. I want my apartment and my wife and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay. Stanley began screaming. Please, someone wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. Hear my voice. Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black. This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She rose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, And in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
え、残酷。また繰り返すんだ。人間って残酷。
I can't wait to tell this story to my co-workers, Stanley thought. How amusing they'll find it.
なんか、
we all just laugh
ちょ
and
くちょ
laugh
く
at
変わる
the
な、
time I
ここの
thought
ナレーショ
everyone
ン。
had gone missing.
それとも続きの物語だったりする？全部続いてるの？このドアだけは絶対に自分で。あれ？閉められてない！よし。絶対に自分で閉めるんだ、ここのドアだけは。
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
え？どうしよう。あの電話のエンドってどうやっていくんだろう。ちょっと思い出せないんですけど。ちょっと全然思い出せない。次右に行こう。
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the
いや、
employee
そう
lounge
電話やったら終わりにしようかなって思ってたんだけど、その電話のやり
The
方を
lounge
忘れ
was
たんだよね。
sublime, a work of art. But eager
こ
to
の辺
get
は
back to business,
別にいいや。
Stanley took the first open door on his left.
ここなんだっけ？こっちかな。
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
リフトかな。全然思い出せない。あれどうだったっけ？正しいセクションに戻らなかった気
But
がす
Stanley
る。
didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get
あ、
back, he
これあ
needed
れ
to
だ。
go
左か右かがわかんなくなるナレーションのやつか。トゥットゥットゥットゥットゥ
left. Oh no, no, it's to the right. My mistake. No, no.
あれ
no,
この
no,
ルー
not
ト
the
じゃない
right.
んだっけ？ど
Why
こ
would
だ？
I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly. Oh dear, would you hold
思い
on
出
for a
せない。
minute,
でもまだやってないことをやったら違うルートが見れ
please?
る。
Let's see. We
こ
went
の
down, right,
今からやる
left,
ルートだけやって終わりにしようかな。もう11時になっちゃうし。
Okay, yes. I've got it now.
違ってたら結構やってたな。
Absolutely, definitely
なんか
this
面白
way.
くてつい。電話じゃない。
No, 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 no. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a
あ、
spoiler.
そうだ、これ目を閉じてるや
Stanley,
つ
close your
だ。
eyes.
そう、これさっき律儀に目を閉じてマジで読めなかったやつだ。文
Back
字。
to, oh, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish
ごめん。
now.
ご
The
め
whole
ん。
story completely unusable.
もう
How
何
about
をやっ
rather
て
than
ない
waste
か
my
思い出せ
time
ない
trying
よ。
to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, hmm? Okay, from the top.
はい。で、これでなんか変な感じになるんだっけ？
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
違うんだっけ？
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
あ、ここのドアだけは自分で閉め。挟まったんだけど挟まった。ドアに挟まっちゃった。
When Stanley... Wait,
あ、そうだ。
what?
そうだ。おかしく
No,
な
I
るやつだ。
restarted. I swear I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Oh, did something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you move the story somewhere, or... Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
こっちに入ったから次あっちに行きたい。どこがいいかな。こういうとこ。なんかもう思いつくままに行動してるので特に何も考えてないです。
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
戻された。
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
冒険、そう、絶対戻されるやつなのかな。
Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
よいしょ。
Okay, yep, it's worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from.
同じことやってるな、前と。
Other direction and see if we missed anything.
引き返します。自分で閉めるからどこだってなるんだよね。
Aha! I knew we'd miss something.
ストーリー
The
だ。
story. Here it comes. No, wait. Never mind. Not the story.
はい。
Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
もう間違えちゃったんだな。
Now this... Well, I'll be honest. I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct?
そう、なんかさっきの集会の時ここがドアだったと思ってたけど、ここだったんだとは。
Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win!
わーい、勝った。わーい。
I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off. So, good job. Oh no, no, I don't feel right about this at all.
結局同じルートに来ちゃったな。間違えちゃった。
Some people win fair and
2
square,
回も勝っ
and
てし
this
まっ
was
たよ。
not one of those situations. Okay, I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is.
はい。
I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart.
これ多分 LINE のやつになるのかな。LINE のやつになったね。
All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost,
逆
I've
に
employed the help of the
LINE
Stanley
を無視していき
Parable
ます。
Adventure Line. Just follow the line. How simple is that?
LINE なんか知らないぜ。
No, no, I'm done. We're leaving it up to the line from now on.
あれ ?LINE に行けない。違う、逆だよ。LINE じゃなきゃいけないのか。どっか他に行ける場所ない？なさそう。逆に戻ってみる。なんか言ってくれるかな？できないか。アドベンチャーライン。従うしかないのか。この先もあったかな？分かれ道みたいなの。あったら、行ってみよう。
You see? The line knows where the story is.
Hi.
It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no
行
story
けな
there?
さそう。
Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Okay, Stanley, I need to follow this train of thought for a minute. Just stick with me. Now, we can both agree that the nature of existence is in fact a byproduct of one's subjective experience of that existence, right?
ここはどこ？
Okay. Now, if my experience of
一周する
your
のね。
existence rests inside of your subjective experience of this office, Is this office, in fact,
こ
the
っちから来た
skeleton
ん
of
だっ
my
け？
own relative
そうだ
experiential
ね、多分こ
mental
っちから。
subjective
結
construct?
局一周するから
Whoa,
行かなきゃいけないの
hang on.
か。
That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to
しょ
apologize.
うがないな。
Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what?
絶対
I
LINE
think
に
what we
従
need
わな
right
きゃいけない
now
み
is
た
a
い。
bit of music
あ、
to
やだやだ
lighten
やだ、や
the
めてやめてやめてやめて。うるさい。やっぱいけないか。うるさい。
Cut the music. Go back and look at that
あの
fern.
シダってどのシダなんだ？
Wait, what? We're back at the office? No, no. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley parable, right? The story? Is
い
any
や、
of this
ここで
ringing
もう
a
一
bell?
回言ったら、実はドアが
Still
ない。
missing the doors. Did we make a mistake following the line?
見つけら
Perhaps
れ
we
な
could
いの
have
か
found
も。
the story on our own.
ではないか。やっぱ LINE 行かなきゃダメ？ LINE のとこ戻ってみるとか？
Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story. Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully.
あれじゃ
You
ない
won't
わ。
want to miss anything.
ここ来てるわ。もう来てないとこかと思ってる。あ、そっか、ドアが閉められてるから結局戻れないのか。じゃあやっぱ LINE の通りに行くしかないのか。そっかそっか。何もできないのか。やっぱ決められたレールの上を歩かなきゃいけないですね。はい。こっちかな？
Oh, no, not again. Line, how could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Oh, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
結局、あれ？ LINE 引かれたまま？
You know what, Stanley?
あ、
I
そうだっ
say
た、そうだっ
forget
た、
the
そうだった。
adventure line. What's it ever done for us?
まだ終わ
We're
ってない。
intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious.
なんかよりにもよって長いルートに
Sounds
来てしまった気
perfectly
がする。
doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
どこ開いたんだ？はい。で、
Now, yes, this is
はい、ワクワク
exciting.
するね。
Just me and Stanley forging a new path,
ナレー
a
ター
new
さんと
story.
ワ
Well,
ク
it
ワ
could
ク
be
する
anything.
ストーリーを
What do
ね。
you want our story to be? Go wild. Use your imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley, I'm ready for it. Oh, no, not you again. Stanley,
また LINE が
I'd
来てし
also
まっ
like
た。
to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it. We should be fine.
無視したくてもね、ずっと LINE があるんだよ。
Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our
これが確か
control.
左開
How
けられなく
important we
て、
mustn't squander the
こっちしかないん
opportunity.
だよね、多分
In。fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute.
逆だった。
Okay, so I know that each door has to
はい。
lead somewhere, which means that somewhere, the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door.
やっぱり絶対
leads here.
正面を向きな
And
がら
that in
ぐるぐる
turn
する。
means that our destination corresponds with that counter-inverted
この
reverse
ナレーター
door's
さんが
origin.
何言ってるの
So
かマ
starting
ジで
from
全
the
くわかんない
right,
んだよね。
let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic.
はい。
Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits.
いて、そっちに開くのかい。
Oh, hold up, what's this? The confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game, what, eight times? That's really how all this goes?
さっきここちゃんと読んでなかったけど。
Determined? So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to
長い
forget?
時間だとスタ
Or
ンリー
what
が
if
死
I
ぬっ
don't
て
want
書
to
いてあ
forget?
る。
My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing wall.
てかこれ
Well,
どっちにし
who
ろ
consulted me?
あれなんだ
Why
ね。
don't I get to
同じ部
decide?
屋に来る
Why
みたいな
don't
感じに
I
なっちゃ
get
っ
a
た
say
ん
in
だね。
all of this? Is it really? No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. And the timer stopped. Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know?
はい。
Will someone come for us? Will something happen? So, okay.
助けてナレーターさん。
I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story. Wouldn't you agree?
待つしかな
I'm
い
not
の。
quite sure if we're in the
じゃ
destination
あせめ
or
て
the
椅子に座らせ
journey.
て
Though
ほ
they're
しい。
always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime...
おう。これで一周かな。やっちゃったなぁ。いや、まさかのまさかで知らないエンディングにたどり着こうとした結果、全く同じエンディングにたどり着いてしまった。いや、しょうがない。はい。じゃあ、まあ、さっきも言ったのでね。今見てるエンディング見たら終わりにするって言ったのでね。ここいらで今日はやめときますか。なんかね、またね、いつかね、やれたらいいな、何かのタイミングで。今回はじゃあこのまま終わりにしようかなと思います。はい。どうしようかな。タイトル画面に行きたいな。はい。タイトル画面です。はい。というわけでね、なんか、段取りが下手くそで申し訳ないですけども、じゃあね、今回はね、ここら辺で、ザ・スタンリー・パラブルみたいな、読めないんですけど、タイトルのね、ゲーム、今日は終わりにしようと思います。で、告知なんですけど、個人の告知は、土曜日、多分また、毎週いつものように、コウミ様とね、マイクラの配信が夜10時からあると思うので、それ来てくださいっていうのと、個人のはもうないんですけど、あとそうね、明日、ハイツからのお知らせ、明日の9月9日の、確か9時半で合ってたかな確認します。確認します。合ってました。明日9月9日木曜日夜9時半からね、うちのグループのクリーピーハイツの楓さんのデビュー配信ということでね、よかったらそれみんな見に来てください。というわけで、今回はこの辺で終わりにしようと思います。お疲れ様でした。バイバーイ。